Hi, this is Sarah with Posh Pooch Designs, and today I'm going to show you how to make our little happy scrubby, or our happy little scrubby, whichever way you want to say it. These are lots of fun to make, and they make great gifts too. Now, this is a free pattern on my blog, and I will put that in the comments so that you will have that. But you're going to find this is a super easy pattern to make and super fun to use. What you're going to need, set these down, is you're going to need some kind of cotton. Today we're going to be using Sugar and Cream in yellow. You're going to need some scrubby yarn. Now, with this pattern, you can use either the brand new Red Heart Sparkle Scrubby, which is amazing yarn. It's a little bit thinner, and the scrubs on them are a little bit softer, and they work really great for cleaning the ring around the bathtub. You can also use the Red Heart regular Scrubby. And here's one. I've used quite a bit of this one because this color is one of my favorites. I've got a blue one here and some solids. You can use any colors that you want and any colors of cotton yarn. Now the new scrubby yarn comes in these bright, vibrant colors of orange, green, yellow, purple, I think pink. I can't remember all the colors, but they're bright, what I call sunshiny colors. Because see how bright that is? And can you see the sparkle in that? I have found a new favorite scrubby yarn. Anyway, you're going to need that. You're going to be using a J-hook today. I know that sounds like it's too big to use with the cotton yarn, but you'll see how it works, and it works really great. And then you're also going to need a needle with a nice big eye for weaving in your ends, and of course, your scissors. All right, are we ready to get started? All right, let me slide this screen down. What's going on with my hands? All right, this is what we're going to be making. These fun scrubbies. They measure about 4.5 inches across. One side is a cotton circle. The other side is a scrubby circle. And then we put them together. And what's really neat is when you use them, if you want to just wash, you can wash on this side. If you want to scrub your dish out, you just hold it like this and scrub that dish or that ring around the sink or that ring around the bathtub. They're perfect. Bathroom cleaning and kitchen cleaning, they're perfect. All right, so what we're going to do, let's move these yarns out of the way, and we're going to start with our cotton yarn, and I've already got some here. And this pattern is so simple to do. We're going to start with the chain 4. Let me pop on my glasses. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to put 1 double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, just like this. And then we're going to put 8 more double crochets in that 4th chain for a total of 10 double crochets around. If you are a tight crocheter, you might want to go up a hook size, because this is supposed to be just a little bit, not loose, but not tight either. One neat thing about cotton is when you wash it, and it washes up great with the scrubby yarn, but to me it seems like when I make a washcloth or a towel out of cotton, it washes up better after it's had a wash or two. I mean, it works better after it's had a wash or two. All right, here's our chain 3. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need to do 2 more right in that hole. And I'm going to show you how to close this hole up when we're done. When we begin this way, you almost always end up with that hole in the center. And that's why I start with a little bit of a tail. That one's got a knot in it. We'll have to pop that off of there. But that way you can close that hole up. Now we're going to join in the top of that chain 3, and then we're going to chain 3. This chain 3 counts as your first double crochet, and then we're going to double crochet in that same stitch as that chain 3, and then we're going to put 2 double crochets in each stitch around. There's There's 1, 2. There's 1, 2. My arm's rubbing on my scratchy yarn there and tickling. Alrighty. 1, 2. 1 and 2. Now I've chosen to make these out of yellow yarn so they'll kind of resemble emojis because I just love emojis. But you can make these little smiley face, little happy scrubbies with any color of yarn that you want. You can use the variegated. You can use solids. Make some Christmas ones. Wouldn't that be fun? Put them in a little Christmas gift bag. Or find out what someone's favorite color is and make them in their favorite color. Alrighty. Once we get around, we did 10 double crochets in the first row, and then we will have 20 double crochets in the next row because we put 2 double crochets in each row. And then you're going to join to the top of that chain 3 again. And let me show you real quick. Here's one I've done. It has all 3 rows. 10 double crochets, the second row is 20 double crochets, and then we do the exact same thing and we put 1 double crochet in the same chain as the chain 3, and then 2 double crochets all the way around for a total of 40 double crochets. So we have 10, 20, and 40. After you finish this with the cotton one, I want you to weave in your end, and then you take this end here and you put it on your needle and you sew it around the edge. Show you on this one. Real quick, cut that knot off of there. I don't know what that's doing there. All you do, thread that needle, and see we've got a little hole here. So you take that needle and you just go around that circle in that first row of the bottom of the stitches, and you just snug that up, go all the way around, and I just keep going around until I run out of yarn. Like it's nice and closed, but I want it to hold tight. So I'll just go back around again, just like that, and close up that hole. And that gives us a nice tight hole until I run out of yarn. And then make sure you weave in your end up here where we ended, and weave that in with your needle and just put those in the back, because this is the front of your smiley face. Now, to put your smiley face on, you're going to need a little bit of black cotton yarn. And the way we do it is you put, I'm going to say about a 36-inch piece of yarn doubled in half, just like this. And the first thing you do is you put your eyes on. And I like to put where I started, like right here's my start, to the side. And then make sure when you're stitching, we're going to go right up into this row here, the second row, and make a little stitch to make the eye. Now what I do is I don't pull that thing all the way through the back. I leave it hanging because we can weave that in later. And make sure when you're stitching on your eye, you're going through a stitch, not a hole. And so we're going to go through there and make a little eye. And I don't pull it tight, I just do it gently. Okay, and now we're going to do the top of the smile, go all the way around and do the other eye. That way we don't have a string going across. So we're going to be putting the smile across both these rows. And you want to make sure you go in stitches. It's sort of random where you place them, but make sure you go in stitches, not the holes between. There's the top of the smile. Just gently tug on those, make sure they're nice and even. And then we're going to follow this line right here for the smile. So we're going to go up in there. And what we'll do is we'll make a stitch just like this. Pull that through, make sure that's nice where it belongs, and then I go right back in there, come right back in the hole I was in. Just like that, and it just makes nice little stitches. Then we'll do another one like we did before, where we just make a stitch through. And basically you're just embroidering straight stitches. Alright, we're going to do one more. There we go. Just like that. And when you're using two thicknesses, it makes a nice thick smile. And also make sure you give it just a little bit of give so when it washes, it closes up nicely. Okay, so now we've got the last part of our smile. We're going to go through a stitch over here, like that, and a stitch over here to close up our smile and make the top of our smile. I've got a little bump in my yarn that keeps showing up, so when you do that, make sure you pull it, but not too tight. And now we need to do the other eye. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to go through a stitch and a stitch, and you have to kind of eyeball it. Try to make it even. And like I said, make sure you go in a stitch, not the space behind. And there's your smile. And then we're going to turn it over. These are these beginning strings we started with. And we're just going to make a little loop behind that eye, and that will hold our yarn. Just like, pull it through like that to tie off, and clip that. And then I do the same thing. That's why I wanted you to leave a little bit of yarn here. I do the same thing. I put this back on the back on the needle, bring it out, and just make a little loop, you know, right behind the eye, just like that. Pull it gently, and you can see there's our smiley face. Now we're going to set that aside for a few minutes, and we're going to work on the front of our scrubby. And I'm going to be using, for the demonstration, the Red Heart Sparkle Scrubby. And this yarn is a little bit different to work with, and so you have to kind of practice a little. It doesn't really have any, you know, major stretch. And it is a little difficult to work with until you get used to it. And that's why I wanted to use the J-hook. And we do the circle for the scrubby exactly the same as the smiley face. So we're going to chain 4 and make nice big loops. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you want to make nice big loops so that you can see your stitches, because it is really hard to see those stitches. Okay, so we're going to put 9 double crochets in the 4th chain from the hook. 1, oops, see, it's really slippy and easy to lose. But I think you'll find once you work with it a little bit, you'll get used to it. These are a great project to take with you to practice if you're going to go on a vacation or a weekend trip, or just have a couple of hours. Just get your scrubby yarn out and practice. And this technique is the same for the Sparkle Scrubby or for the regular Scrubby. That's why I made some with both. Alrighty. Now, it can be a little difficult to see your stitches. Bring this way up close. But you can see there's a little bit of a string going through this yarn. And so that's what will kind of help guide you. Alright, so now we need to put 2 double crochets in each stitch around. So here's, oh, that's not correct, is it? We need to make sure we put 1 in the same stitch as our chain 3. So we gently pull that out. And that's another thing. I'm glad that happened, because this yarn is really difficult to frog. And that means if you want to pull your project out, it's really difficult to do that. So let me put 1 double crochet in the same stitch as the chain 3. And now we're going to put 1 double crochet and 2 double crochet in each stitch around, just like we did the other one. Now, what I find easiest to do is to go like right through those 2 loops to make my stitch. See those stitches right there? I know it's difficult to see with this type of yarn. Let's see if I can get a little closer for you. All right, so we've got 2 in that one. We're going to go right in here. Just like that. All right, so 2 double crochets in each double crochet around. Someone did ask me if this yarn was really scratchy to work with, and I have not found it to be scratchy to work with. It doesn't bother my skin or anything. If you have really sensitive skin, you might consider getting one of those little sleeve things. That might help if you have sensitive skin, but I have not found it to be scratchy. I do find it to be a little tickly, I'll have to say that. as I'm doing this row, this ball here that I have out here keeps hitting my arm and tickling me. Okay, so now we've got 20 around. We're going to join in the top of that chain 3, pull a loop, and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. The best advice I can give you is take it slow and look close, because I think once you do this for a couple of times, that's why this is a good beginner and practice project, because once you do it a couple of times, you'll think, oh, that was so easy. Why was I so worried about that? Because it does. You just kind of get used to the way it looks. All right, let's go ahead and get these 40 stitches done, and then we'll put our smiley face, Happy Little Scrubby, together. Now, you can use the washcloth scrubby without the back on it, the cotton one, to wash with, and you can also just make the circle of the scrubby yarn and use that to scrub with. They work just fine. I just really like how they work together. I think that the scrubby yarn from Red Heart and the cotton yarn work fantastic together. It's a great marriage. It really is. They wash up well together. I've got lots and lots that I've made. Different styles with using cotton and scrubby yarn. And they do. They work up great together. They wash up great together. And the cotton, I've said this many times, I think that once you wash anything made with cotton and it goes through the laundry one time, it works better than it did before it was washed, because it becomes more absorbent and it also becomes softer. All right, we're almost around this row. I just wanted you to see how to stitch up the scrubby yarn, that it really wasn't difficult. But when I first started working with it, I thought, oh, I was a little intimidated. But once I started playing with it and having so much fun making new and different things, and let me tell you, there are already a lot of Red Heart free patterns using scrubby, and there's also, if you do Ravelry, there's a bunch on there. Lots of fun flowers, and Marley Bird made an ice cream cone, and lots of different shapes and things that you can, I think Snappy Tots made a couple of really pretty ones. And she also made a bag. You can put your bathtub toys in. It's really cute. Or you could use it in the kitchen to put other stuff in. It is really cute. And so there's lots of uses for the scrubby yarn, you know, things that you can make out of it. All right, we're almost around the end. 1, oops, 2, and 1. See, when you try to go too fast, it does slip off your hook. That's the other thing. Like I said, go slow and really look close. Pay real close attention. All right, we're going to join to the top of that 3. And we're not going to chain 3 because that's our round of 3. And you can see, I want you to look up close. See how sparkly that is? I wish you could feel it. It's really soft. All righty. Now, like I said, you can use any of the other scrubby yarns too. It works really great. Here's a variegated blue one. And this is that pink one that's my favorite. I think it's called, this one's called Waves. I can't remember what this one's called, but I love both of these colors. Anyway, this one, I think this one is great in the bathroom because it looks blue like water. Okay, now we've got our scrubby back made. We've got our scrubby front made. So what we're going to do is I want to make sure that you turn your things so that both circles are facing outside. This is your front of your scrubby. This is the front of your washcloth scrubby. What we're going to do, after you finish this, don't cut your yarn because we're going to use that to go around the edges. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Put the hook through, We're going to go through the top 2 loops on the green scrubby and 2 loops on the yellow scrubby, and we're going to single crochet just like this. Now, you can go through it using slip stitches if you want. I just really like the way it looks with single crochet. And you should have 40 stitches on both, so it should work out perfectly. And you're going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around, just like that. And you're going to go all the way around. And if you'll notice on these that I made, this is what we did. We went all the way around, joined and tied off, weaved in the ends. And one thing that you'll notice is there's no tie. And something that you can do, if you want to hang it up in your bathtub, something you can do is just take some of this scrubby yarn, just like this. Let me pull that hook off of there. And slide it through. Pull that up double thickness, just like that. And you can tie a little tie. And by doing that, that will give you something to hang over the bathtub faucet or the sink faucet in the bathroom or in the kitchen, so that you can hang it up and it can dry. Cotton does absorb water, so you might get some water in there. So I thought I would tell you about that as well. You can also make a chain and hook it on there. I just like the idea of using the scrubby yarn for the tie. So that's how you make our little happy scrubby, or our scrubby happy little, or a little happy scrubby, or happy little scrubby, however you want to say it. This is 3 made with cotton yarn on the front and scrubby yarns on the back. This is the sparkle yarn. These 2 are made with the regular Red Heart variegated scrubby. So I hope that you love this video. I hope you'll make a bunch of these. And I just think they're so much fun. I don't know about you, but I would just love to give these as a gift for someone just to brighten their day, you know. Because, hey, no one likes doing the dishes, right? Well, thanks for watching my video. Please take a minute to like the video and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you, and have a happy day.